Hello, this is Kakalasanari, and today I'm gonna explain to you or talk a little bit about taxes and how we can have um, a logistic, backup for our, let's just say, front lines if you're fighting into the faction warfare zone. Um, I'm gonna talk generally first about taxes and what you should do to just you know pay a little less taxes every transaction that you're gonna make. The first and the most important one is if you are doing business. Let's just say at the most important trading hub in the game, which is the Jita 4.4. You will have to reduce you can actually reduce a couple of taxes, and that will be the broker fee tax and the reprocessing. you know I mean, it's the broker fee that's the one important. I guess the reprocessing comes along with the broker fee. So I'm gonna explain it to you a little bit. So let's just say I reprocess something, and as you can see right here, I don't have to pay anything to reprocess. Now, granted, I don't have the skills to reprocess percentage, but I don't have to pay any taxes if I reprocess at any of the Caldari Navy stations. And the same goes if I'm trying to sell. So let's just say I want to sell that. It doesn't really matter. I want to say something. And the sales tax is right there, right here, that you cannot just reduce, but you can reduce the broker fee. As you can see, I also pay 0% broker fee tax. Um, and you're probably asking yourself, why is that? Well, the reason is simple. You just have to do missions at the Caldari Navy station. So we're gonna take a look. So if we are looking at, let's just say, where is it? Caldari Navy. It's gonna be right here. Ah, there you go. That's Caldari Navy. I already have it selected. And as you can see, Caldari Navy, and I have standing 7.25. The minimum that you'll need to do to have is 6.67 standing in order to not pay any broker fee or reprocessing tax. And the way to do that, and I really recommend to actually do that if you're doing any kind of business and Jita 4, is go over to agency and yeah, just do Caldari Navy. So you just have select the distribution. You can either this distribution, I think security too. Those are the two options, and you should just do missions here to increase your standing with the corporation. Um, yeah, that'll be Caldari Navy. You can find it right here under faction Caldari and Caldari Navy. And once you're over that standing, or you know over 6.67, you don't have to pay any taxes. Now, I'm gonna tell you. So this is the first part that probably everybody should do if they're doing any kind of business in the Jita 4.4. Now, I'm gonna go a little more in depth, and I'm gonna tell you how you can actually use that station advantage of if you're actually already doing the Caldari Navy or have standing or zero point 0, and how you can actually have supply chains in the faction warfare zone already. Um, so we are at Jita 4.4 at the moment, and there are a couple. So if you're doing faction warfare, there are a couple of stations in Lowsec that the Caldari Navy has stations at, and there are a couple of systems I already mentioned, and we got the system of Notoras, which is right here. We got Haladen, which is right here. We got Akamon, Tescan, and there are two more systems right here. Yana Kamorn and Okagigen. And it means that you can have stuff right there. I'm not sure if they all have industry, but you can definitely do business there. So that means, reprocessing and all of that. But I think most of them already have industry too. There you go, yeah. So you can have industry, you can just build your own ships there. What I recommend, obviously, is building your ships at those stations and bringing all the other modules alongside with it. Let's just say I wanna have a destroyer, or whatever. I want to have a couple of destroyers. Yeah, I want to have Catalyst Navigation. Well, you will need to buy those blueprints in the first place, and there are a couple of ways you can just buy the LP via merchants in the game, where you can actually find in the local or chat channels. And you go over here, and let's just say you go to Vic LP buy, and you can buy the LP, but you'll have to have an alt to buy those, because you can only transfer LP to the corporations. And the LP that you get there, you can buy the Navy issues, like the Catalyst Navy issue. And I'm gonna show you. So you just go over the loyalty points. Let's just see. I don't know if I have that much, and there's an option here where you can actually click and use the corporation loyalty points, and you can buy from you buy it. Well, they're selling here, but you can just contact them that you're actually buying LP from them, so they'll sell it at a higher price, and you can buy the the blueprint. So we're just gonna buy. Let's just say. Let's see if I have. I think I have. Navy issue. There you go. I actually have a couple of. I have a Griffin Navy issue. I'm buying that. There you go, and it should be right here. Tama. I have a Griffin Navy issue, and I can just build that. Yeah. It's like under corporation deliveries or somewhere here, or already in the inventory. Yeah, if you buy with the corporation, it's going to be under the corporation delivery, yes. So you click here, and the blueprints that you're going to buy were going to be there. Yeah, that's how you should do it. Now I'm gonna go out a little bit. So you just buy those blueprints, you construct those ships at the stations in the front lines where the Caldari Navy, or if you have standing with any other corporations, let's just say the State Protectorate, you can do the same thing. It just has to have industry, so you can actually just build those ships. Yeah, you build the ships directly in the front lines, but you bring the mats there. So now the question is, how do you bring the mats right there? Well, I'm gonna go to one of the Caldari Navy. Now it's gonna be a little risky because I'm going through Tama and I don't have a lot of patience, but I have a pretty nimble ship, let's just say like this. So we know how to just in general, I mean, the Caldari Navy is just, you know, you buy those mats from right there. Um, well, is just delivering those mats now is the problem now. The thing is, delivering those mats via, you know, the normal channels, it's gonna be rough because you're gonna get hunted down. You know, you're gonna get gate camped, and there's no way in hell that you can not risk anything doing that. So that's a little difficult, you know. Obviously, if you have fast align shops, you know, or using shuttles to bring blueprints or all that, that should be good. But if you want to bring more stuff, then it's a little difficult. So I'm just gonna show you a route or a way on how to, once I get there to the, you know, one of the Caldari Navy stations, how to, you know, work your way out or just deliver your own goods. Have your own ships. Now, I also chose this station because if you look at, you know, we pay a couple of taxes or you know, while doing business, and I have it here noted. There is a couple of taxes. So the first one, that's the system cost index, which it means if there's a lot of business going on, you're gonna pay a lot of more taxes into that system. And there is the faction warfare deduction tax, which you can see under the faction warfare. There are systems where people just put LP, and you can actually get the tax reduction. And this tax is from the system cost index, so it's 50% from that system cost index. So that's a, you know, if the system cost index is 5.24, oh shit, as you can see, this is gate camped, but because I have fast align time, they are not able to catch me. So you definitely cannot go through gates that easily. You know, you cannot bring mats from Jita to whatever station that you're at right now. So yes, so the system cost index is, you know, if there's a lot of actions going on, the tax is going to be higher. This is, you know, very specific faction warfare reduction tax, you know, and there's the facility tax, you cannot change that. In the alpha tax, if you're alpha. Also, what is the SEC abbreviation stands for? The Secure Commands Commission Surcharge tax, which is also 5%. Those taxes is if you're just trying to do industry. So if you're building any type of ships there, you're gonna pay those taxes. Alright, we are not too far away. Jump. Now, is something that I also haven't mentioned. Obviously, the important one is the Caldari Navy, but I also like the Viriette corporations to have, if you can do missions at the Viriette corporation, which has stations in Vlilier. So in Vlilier, there's a lot of, so if you're just trying to do business or do contracts, having Vlilier Corporation have at least a 6.67 standing to have for their reprocessing tax is very good. It's a very good idea. So there you go, we have a Notorious. Now the thing is, we have two Caldari Navy, we're gonna warp to one of that stations. And I'm gonna show you, you know, that you actually don't have to pay any taxes. Or for reprocessing or selling anything. in this station too. So it's the same thing, it's the same corporation, but it's just somewhere else. Alright. Should have warped to 0, but that's okay. Alright. There you go, we are in this system. Now, as you can see, if I'm trying to reprocess something, I also pay 0% tax. It's just that I'm somewhere else right now. Now, trying to do industry, now I have bought blueprints, and let's just say I want to build this ship. Now, I need a couple of mats, so how do I do that? You know, you need those things, you know, to build your own ships, because ships have a lot of cargo and it's like really difficult to just bring the whole ships. So you would rather just build the ships in the station and bring the mats, but you still have to bring the mats, right? So I'm gonna show you that real quick. So I have a couple of taxes here, so you can see the facility tax 0.25, alpha clone, surcharge, and the system cost index. Oh, you can see it already moved. So if it's less, let me see. Yeah, there you go. Already changed. When I started the video, it was 522, but right now it's 524. Now it's 522. So already changed. So it's based on how much activity is going on into that system. But the deduction is also always constant, so that's good. Now this character doesn't have Omega. And yeah, you don't have to pay taxes, but now we'll have to bring our mats. So the way you bring those mats, in that, Tama is camped and all the other, very difficult ways is using the wormhole chains. And for the sake of the video, I already just scanned a wormhole entrance, and we're gonna just warp to that. So you build your own, you have the blueprints, you build your own ships right here. You have ships here, somewhat close to the front lines. You can bring them 20 seconds, right, real quick. But you still need to feed them. And